end the show, we got a couple minutes here, Jacob. Why don't we jump into the schedule a little bit deeper? I know we talked about it the other day and we broke it down and did our win-loss totals. For those of you who didn't catch that, we're going to give our official predictions. We get closer to the season, but just the initial reaction to the schedule, the way we approach that. I said 12 wins is what I came away with. Now, again, I like to, as the season approaches, I'll give you a window. I'll say, hey, I think it's like last year I said 10 to 13. They finished with 11. That's how I like to kind of look at the season. There were some points in the year last year, Jacob, where I'll go, boys, we're sniffing 14. And there was a couple of times I went, oh, crap, 8 might be on the table now. It's just up and down as the season goes along. But obviously we got them right there in that range. So you could check this out over on our Patreon group as well. I want to apologize. When we did the schedule the other night and you said that schedule looked weak, Jacob, it was from last year. So our boys over at Nerdin on NFL put up the schedule. I seen them pop that schedule up. I got a notification. I'm like, heck yeah, they got that done quick. And I didn't read the tweet that they had attached to it where they said, we plan on doing this again this year. So it was last year's schedule, but everything's been edited on Patreon and updated. So this is the updated schedule. Also, I provided a link right here. That's the website that Ryan Schlitt put together over at Packernet Podcast. It's got the schedule breakdown and everything on there. Really, really cool site he put together. And let's just kind of look at it specifically. We'll skip past the regular schedule here. We've already read that off. I want to key in on division games and kind of look at when these come here, Jacob, and just get again, we'll just spend 5, maybe 10 minutes on it. But here are your divisional matchups in the week in which they hit, okay? And it's kind of weird because you got the Detroit Lions week 1, 3:25 Central kickoff there at Lambeau Field. I love that, opening up in the 3 o'clock window on opening week for the Packers there on September 7th. Somebody pissed God off over there, didn't
I got some thunder rolling through here. Sorry.
So week 1, you've got the Lions, and then look at this, man. Your next divisional matchup doesn't come till week 12, which, by the way,
it's crazy.
Full disclosure, that's the game I'm eyeing to go to. That might be the one that I end up at. If it's not that one, then it'll be the Bears on December 7th. And we may also go to the Denver game away because I've never been to the Rockies, so we're thinking about going out there. But nonetheless, week 12, you got the Vikings at Lambeau. Week 13, you're on the road against Detroit. Week 14, you're at home against the Bears, and then turn around 2 weeks later and play the Bears in Chicago.
That's wild.
And then 2 weeks later, you finish on the road with the Minnesota Vikings. Hopefully you can see that okay, but what do you think about that divisional schedule? I mean, it's pretty wild that you open up week 1 against the Lions, and then it's not till week 12 you play another divisional opponent.
I don't know if I like it. It's very unique. I don't remember a schedule anywhere near this where, you go week 1 out the gate against arguably your biggest rival at the moment, and then you go a good 11 weeks, 12 weeks because of the bye. And then that's the first time you see Minnesota there. And I don't know what to think about it, man. I really don't like that short, going in Minnesota from the 23rd and then come back around to play the Lions on Thanksgiving 4 days later. Like, God, that seems crazy. And then that whole back end of the season, I mean, I tell you what, it's going to be a whirlwind. And it could either be real good or real bad, and it will happen really quick. I mean, we could be up until, we could be going into week 12 with like 8 wins, 9, something like that, 9 wins, and we could come out the back half and maybe grab only 1 or 2 more. Like it is that competitive. And what were we? We barely won a game last year in the division, right? I think we had 1.
Yeah, I mean,
it was rough.
It's very, very interesting. I don't remember a divisional schedule ever shaping up like this. It's really it's kind of strange. But you guys know my response too is like, bring it on. Let's go, man. Let's just go out there and take care of business. And when you look at it, what it really gives you an opportunity to do is settle in and figure out what kind of team you are. And by the time you get into the thicket of the divisional matchups, it's going to be week 12. And I personally think that favors Matt LaFleur if injuries don't take over like they kind of did last year with the whole Jordan Love and everything, Jair Alexander, all that. Matt LaFleur, in my opinion, coaches his best ball later in the season. You guys know he's kind of known for having a really, really strong December win-loss record. Mm-hmm. And when I look at that, I think it's because he's a play caller, man. He's a game planning coach. And when you go into early in the season and you don't know what these teams are going to do until you get a good 2 or a 4 game saturation where you can really study their film leading up to a matchup. I think he's kind of on his heels a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't happen against Detroit in week 1, because I'm telling you, you talk about a buzz at Lambeau Field. Week 1 against the Lions, kicking off the NFL season, it doesn't get any better than that. So anything else you want to mention here? Again, I just wanted to kind of highlight the divisional schedule there. We could go to the away games, home games, all that stuff, but I just wanted to kind of point that out before we get ready to wrap up. I know you got to run here in a second anyway, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, it is, again, it's very unique. I remember back, what was it, maybe 5-10 years ago when they started seemingly almost intentionally, it seems that you started your year with a divisional opponent and you ended it. And I always thought, okay, well, that's interesting. It makes for, less chance of quote unquote guys sitting or throwing games, whatever you want to call it. I go back and forth with how I feel about the schedule and whether or not I feel confident or kind of pessimistic. And right now, a lot's going to be, I mean, after week 1, we'll have to, gauge it again, because if we come out of that with a win, holy Lord, I'm going to be on, running on the ceiling. If we come out with a loss, and depending on how that first 4 weeks go, and then if I remember correctly, we had the bye in week 5, right? So
let's see, where was it? Yeah, week 5. You got it. Yeah, it's kind of strange.
And then coming out of there, I mean, it's just weird. And when you look at the schedule, everybody, myself included, we have such recency bias thinking that, well, what these teams are is what we saw last year from them. And that's just not the case. And I got to remind myself of that. I think we as Packer fans need to do that as well. But I mean, you look at it, there's some opponents on there, man. And even teams like, your Steelers, your Cardinals, the Panthers, the Giants, all of them have a lot of new faces or have a reason to have hope that this year is going to be different than last year. And I don't see the Bengals falling off. I don't see the Commanders falling off. The Lions, obviously, Eagles. It's going to be a fun one for sure. It'll be going down to the wire. And if we do come out and we're swinging for the fences, and by week 10, if we're like 9-1 or 8-2,
battle tested, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's iron sharp as iron. What, steel sharp as steel, whatever they say. So bring it on, man.
Yep, completely agree, man. That's what I'm looking at. If they somehow finish this season 12-5, and again, that's
what I had
early. I'm thinking like the number, the frame I'm coming into is like 11 to 14 wins, like high side 14, low side 11, barring any crazy injuries. But man, it's just, if you do somehow finish the season with 12 wins with this schedule, you're going to look up and go, boys, we just went through the gauntlet and we're one of the best teams in the league. Let's go win this damn Lombardi. That could be happening. So I'm excited about it. But all right. That's pretty much going to do it, man. I think we hit everything that I had on the docket here, guys. And obviously, we're in the off season. We don't want to get crazy trying to extend the show out. I'd rather leave 5 minutes before you guys want us to than hang around 5 minutes longer. If you guys would, though, hit that like button for us. Feel free to sub to the channel. We get a ton of people that watch this show, and the subs are through the roof. Don't get me wrong, but there are a bunch of people that come in and watch the show and don't sub. So if you guys would take a second, sub, hit that bell notification, hit the bell icon, turn the notifications on. We go live every day talking Packers. I don't care what day of the year it is. It's not like, okay, we're in the off season, we'll back it off and go 3 days a week. We try to go every day. Every now and again, I'll go out to dinner with the wife and we'll take a night off. But for the most part, you're going to get daily content here on the channel. So I appreciate everybody swinging through. Also, the best way to support what we do here at Packers Total Access is scan the QR code in the upper right and join our Patreon community. For $3, get you access to everything over there on the site. It also gets you entered into the giveaways, which, by the way, we're looking for Jabin Tebow or Clint Cosgrove. That was the first place and the second place winner. Okay, so the autographed Dontavion Wicks jersey goes to Jabin Tebow if he comes forward. If we don't hear from him, it'll go to Clint Cosgrove. If we don't hear from him, we have already heard from Q